What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Shep's Garage video, and today we are going to talk about why, if you're considering buying a Porsche 911, why it should have a manual transmission. And no, this video is not about, why the manual transmission is so fun, why the manual transmission matters in a sports car. No, why you should buy it in your Porsche 911, because seriously, there are some key advantages to having the manual transmission optioned out. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video. But first, if you're new to the channel, this is the first time seeing my face on your screen, don't forget to please click that subscribe button down below for more awesome videos like this. I mainly do Market GTI car content, but I'm starting to do some more other car content as well. If you guys want me to go to car shows, I just posted a short at a Cars and Coffee event. Let me know what other videos you guys want to see down below, because soon school's ending and I'm gonna need video ideas, so let me know what I should do in the comment section down below for more car content, other sort of car content as well, because my dream is to be a full-time YouTuber, and I can't do it without your support. You guys are crushing it with support lately, and I appreciate it so much. But now let's talk about 911 with a manual transmission. Now, when you hear those two things together, that seems pretty common, a Porsche 911 with a manual transmission. Well, you would be wrong in today's world. In today's world, the manual transmission is hard to find, period. No matter if it's a sports car or an entry-level economy hatchback, you rarely can find them. I think Car and Driver posted an article or something about the cars you can buy in 2023 with a manual, and there's surprisingly very few cool cars you can buy with a manual transmission. Then we come to 2022, where in Porsche's lineup, you can no longer get a base sports car with a manual transmission, whether that's a Boxster or a Cayman or 911. You have to step up and get the S trim level, which makes it even harder for manual transmission cars. This car behind me is a manual transmission car, and there are some big advantages that you may not even be considering about why you should buy a Porsche with a manual transmission. Let's start off with the basics. What is the first advantage of the manual transmission? Now, the manual transmission is a free option if you're optioning a 911 Carrera S or above, or actually no, 911 Carrera T or above. You can get the manual transmission. It is that little thing right there. It is a 7-speed, and the advantage to it is you can get Sport Chrono for free. This little dial on the right here, if you choose the manual transmission, it is free. It's cheaper by $2,700 or something, so that is a pretty good deal for Porsche to sell the manual transmission. However, there are not too many out there right now. Another thing to note is the manual transmission has been drastically improved over the years with the Porsche 911, and what I like about Porsche so much is they take people's feedback and they put it towards their next car after that, and their next car after that. An example of this is with the throw of this manual transmission. If I just step in the car here, you can see that this manual transmission, the throw is very short, which is very nice, and the gear stick is very, very not as tall. It's very short, which is also nice. This has been taken from the 991.1 where people have complained that the manual transmission had a long throw. It felt like rowing a boat. The gear stick was very tall. So what did Porsche do in the 2017 Carrera T? Well, they lowered the gear stick because they had complaints about it. And in the 992 generation, this is no different. The throw is even shorter, so no need for a short shifter. It is just as fun and as notchy as you think it is, and the gear stick is very short for making an amazing and fun driving experience. Some other advantages too, like auto rev matching in this new 992 generation, where it basically matches the RPMs to the gear you're going to go into. So if you're starting from third gear and going to second gear, it will rev match the gears for you, so it makes you sound like you're a real manual driver when you're basically a beginner. The final big obvious advantage is value. If you own a 911, especially a 992 generation car, if you have one with a manual transmission that isn't a GT3 or GT3 RS or any special model like that, I don't like to call these civilian models, but they basically are kind of civilian models. The normal 911. If you own a normal 911 with a manual transmission, they are rare. Porsche does not make a lot of cars. Dealerships do not make a lot of order manual 911s just because of the clientele that certain dealerships have. If you want a manual 911, you have to order one. That's literally the only way you can get it, and that basically helps the value of these. If your car has a manual transmission, it's worth a lot of money. If you go on Auto Tempest or Auto Trader or any car buying website, you can find these cars for going basically close or maybe over sticker price with miles on them. That is how rare and wanted these 911 manual transmission cars are, and that's pretty cool. I do want to answer a very important question, and that is, why can't you get a manual transmission in the base 911? And why do you see so many normal PDK 911s? And that's because that one, let's answer that first question. Why are there so many PDK 911s? They're easier to sell. If a Porsche dealership has many 911s for sale and they're all automatic, they can reach a broader audience of not just real Porsche drivers, but for people that just want a cool, nice sports car. An automatic 911 is way more convenient for people. Not everybody in their family has to learn how to drive a manual transmission just to move the dang car, but also because that it's easier to drive day in day traffic. No more 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. It's just a nice, easy drive into the city, having the car shift the gears for you. Now, why can't you get a manual transmission in a base 911? Why do you have to go to a Carrera T, or if you want a convertible, a Carrera S? And that is because that Porsche and the engineers at Porsche kind of have a bit of a disagreement, we'll call it this way, about the manual transmission. Nope, they don't fight about it, but they have a disagreement basically. And that disagreement is that they want to keep the manual transmission for the higher end trim levels, maybe respect it a little bit more. If you're paying a premium for a Carrera S or 4S, they're also selling you other features and everything. So that's one way for them to basically only reserve the manual transmission for true Porsche buyers than just putting in the base car, kind of like the last generation, the 991.2. Before I wrap up this video, put a conclusion, are there any disadvantages to the manual transmission? Well, yes, there are a few disadvantages of the manual transmission. First of all, you have to learn how to drive manual to drive the thing. So there are some people out there that are just too lazy to drive manual or don't want to drive manual, and if you agree with both of those things, then you're not a true car enthusiast. Just kidding, by the way, but drive manual, it's better. There also is other disadvantages. Conveniency is one thing. Driving in traffic is way more difficult because what you're basically going to be doing the whole time is going from first to second, so yep, that's what you're gonna be doing the whole time. So that's a lot of fun for your left foot, right? And then there's also the conveniency of having to drive or move the car. Only the people who know how to drive manual can move your car, which is maybe a good thing because it holds as an anti-theft device, because manual cars can't get stolen very much, and people can't really drive your car. So that hasn't worked for me, at least, because I know how to drive manual because I'm a car guy. Yeah. On a real note here, that is a downside if you have to move the car, because only people that know how to drive manual can move this car. So there's that. So in conclusion, is the manual transmission in the Porsche 911 worth it? Absolutely, if you can get by with all of the downsides. If you have someone else in your family that knows how to drive manual, that can also move the car, but you could also enjoy it just as well as an automatic, then the manual transmission may be for you. The big price premium is the largest downside, But if you can afford a brand new 992, then I'm sure you can probably afford a manual one because they are so much more enjoyable than the PDK. Not saying the PDK is a bad car, but the manual is just so much more enjoyable, and these are getting rare. These may become collector's items in the future. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did, smash that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.